Welcome, basketball fans, to Pollard Gymnasium, where tonight the girls and boys will both be participating in a match between our spark plugs and our visitors, the Warriors from Covenant Christian High School. My name is Ron Probst. I'm here again with Shane Clampett. Shane, welcome. Hopefully you've had some time to decompress after the football season and some time to rest up and be with your little girl a little bit more often than what you were, I'm sure, during the season. I know we talk about this every year, and it's not the girls' first game, but it will be the boys' first game. But what do you remember most about first games, even in the football season, and how you approach those and the feelings and things like that?
Oh, it's just such an exciting time for every team and every program. There's just a lot of upbeatness. Everyone seems to be looking forward to playing against someone in another jersey. And I know when I walked in, I heard balls bouncing, and on a cold night and smell the popcorn. Nothing better than high school basketball in Indiana this time of year. So I think everyone's just really focused on themselves and trying to, have their team ready and to do what they do. Early in the year, it's more about yourselves and not about scouting. So excited to see the girls and the boys play tonight.
All right. Covenant Christian comes in with a record of 5-2, started off 5-0, lost their last two games to Sheridan and Beech Grove. Spark Plugs coming off a win. Record is 1-2. Real quickly, we'll cover the starting lineups for the night's game. First of all, for Covenant Christian, coached by Dan Neitz. At a guard, number 3, 5'4" senior, Julie Huffman. Another guard, 5'2" senior, number 10, Avery Reichart. Third guard, number 13, 5'8", a junior, Jenna Rodemaker. At a forward, number 12, 5'9", a senior, Milan Lloyd Dawson. And finally, also an inside player, number 25, 5'8", sophomore, Mariah Armstrong. Once again, the Warriors coached by Dan Neitz in his 5th season with the Warriors. For the Spark Plugs, Calissa Jackson at a guard. Calissa, number 13, Macy Delisle at a guard. Macy's number 23, averaging 11 points a game. Maddie Metallic, number 11, a 6-foot freshman, averaging 18 points a game. Haley Clampett, number 32, a 6-foot junior, averaging around 9 points a game. And tonight, making her original appearance of the year, Miley Walton, number 31. Miley's had some injury issues and will be starting tonight as well. Once again, Spark Plugs coming off a big win on Friday night against Cecina. The win was 60-37. They broke out in the shooting column and hit a lot of shots that were missed in the first couple of games. And as I mentioned, Covenant Christian began the year 5-0, losing recently to Sheridan Beech Grove. Coach Neitz thought the Beech Grove game kind of got away from him. He thought that's one that they could have won. But both coaches agree that this should be a very competitive game. We'll listen to John Del Corabo here, the PA announcer at Pollard Gymnasium.
Negative behavior is unacceptable at all IHSAA events. Let's afford the players, coaches, and officials the respect they deserve. Thank you for being a good sport. At this time, ladies and gentlemen, we'd like you to ask you to please rise and face the flag as we honor our country with the playing of our national anthem. First for the visiting Warriors for Covenant Christian. At guard, 5'4" senior, number 3, Julia Hoffman. At guard, 5'2" senior, number 10, Avery Reichardt. Guard, 5'8" junior, number 13, Jenna Rodemaker. Forward, 5'9" senior, number 12, Milan Lloyd Dawson. Forward, 5'8" sophomore, number 25, Mariah Armstrong. Head coach of the Warriors, Dan Deeks, assisted by Charles McKinney, Courtney Foreman, and Stacy Nolan. And ladies and gentlemen, starting lineup for your Speedway ladies, spark plugs. At guard, the 6-foot freshman, number 11, Madeline Metallic. At guard, a 5'4" senior, number 13, Calissa Jackson Deepster. Guard, 5'9" junior, number 23, Macy Delisle. And at guard, a 5'9" senior, number 31, Miley Lawson. Center, 6-foot junior, number 32, Haley Clampett. Head coach of the ladies spark plugs, Joe Smith, assisted by Kyle Brown, Emma Cooper, Gianni Yonkarobo, Jennifer Jennings, and Carly Smith. Officials for the ladies game this evening is Cody Philibon, Mike Baker, and Rick Oliver. It's time for Speedway Lady Basketball.
Shane, I would agree with you. The first games of the season are, you smell the popcorn, you hear the shoes on the floor, you watch the obligatory Hoosiers sometime before you see the first game, and it's always exciting.
It is. It's a great time. Especially this right before Thanksgiving break is such a great way to start the holidays.
Absolutely.
With some high school basketball. Turnover by the Plugs.
That's one area that we cleaned up the other night a little bit against Cecina. Coach Smith was a little disappointed in the first couple of games with a lot of turnovers.
Covenant in. Just missed. I think Kelly may have been poked in the eye or something.
I think she was.
Covenant in the full court press. Miley should really help the Plug. She's played for a few years. She's a really good shooter. I'm sure she's excited to get back.
Wow. Yeah, we talked to Coach Smith the other night after the game about this one. He thought our team this year was maybe a little bit more athletic than last year's. He thought tonight's game, both coaches did, as I talked to him before the game, thought this would be a good matchup.
Yeah, it looks like we have a little size advantage. Milan with a good seal and put a layup. Callie's going to have to handle the ball really well against this press all night long. Another turnover by the Plugs.
Not a great way to start the game with 3 turnovers.
No, trying to run a little high-low play there. Just didn't execute the pass. I think it was the right idea. Covenant moving the ball around. Good defense by. That was Macy Delisle with the tip there.
Maddie leading scorer for the Spark Plugs at 18.7.
Makes the second one, 1 of 2. Foul on Jackson Dietzer there.
I think she just had the wrong angle. If she had taken one more step toward the sideline, she might have gotten either a turnover or perhaps even a charge.
Yeah, I like to speed them up a little bit. Steal again. Macy, good pass.
Yep.
Good hustle by Miley. Lugs getting a little ball movement. Macy. Good to see her first shot go in.
You know, she struggled the first couple of games, but the last game she really broke out. And she's one of those that once it starts going in, it can go in from anywhere.
Yes, she's a good shooter.
Yes, she is.
Haley, good.
Shane, that's an out-of-bounds play. I remember from last year, we ran over and over, and for some reason, teams don't adjust very well to it.
Yeah, last year, that was Alex Delisle getting that shot a lot.
Speedway foul, number 31, Miley Walton. Checking in for Speedway, number 3, Addie Haberman-Smith.
Addie Haberman-Smith is a sophomore. I believe she's playing for the first time this year.
Yeah, the Plugs are going to have to expect Covenant to press. It looks like they're going to press all game.
Yeah. Covenant is a more veteran team than the Spark Plugs. Starting 4 seniors. Plugs with only 2 seniors on the roster this year. Nice pass.
Good finish by Milan again. Here comes the press again. Macy trying to push the ball, dribbled off of Haley's shoe.
Coach Smith showing a little impatient with the turnovers. I've got us down for 6 already.
Yeah, and I'd say 4 or 5 of them were unforced.
Yeah.
Macy with another steal. Get to the basket, Macy.
think a little too unselfish there. If
Yeah.
I would think I would have taken that shot.
Very unclamping of her.
Yeah. Maybe the quote of the year.
Plugs need to get a stop here. Callie's done a good job handling the ball. Oh.
Checking in for Speedway, number 4, Paige Hooper.
Paige Hooper into the game for the Plugs. Spark Plugs in man-to-man.
Good drive.
Yes.
Good battle. It's out on them.
Not quite balanced on that shot. Kind of moving to the left a little bit, Macy was. And
She still almost got to go just off the front of the rim.
yeah.
Steal by Covenant. Oh, Callie gets it back. Good drive, good follow. Another offensive rebound for the Plugs. Couldn't get anything out of that one. Had some chances.
Six to 6 our score. 1 minute 34 seconds to go until the end of the first quarter.
Warrior foul, number 3, Julia Hoffman. Checking in for Covenant Christian, number 5, Maddie Howard.
Maddie Howard in for the Warriors.
Good finish.
Saying they're speeding us up a lot.
Yes, they are.
And I have us down for 8 turnovers. But we've taken some, and you got to try to score. I understand that. But there's that fine line between taking the quick shot off of the press breaker and running something.
Yep, they've definitely got us playing faster than we want right now. There's a 2 where foot was on the line for Emma Crane. Covenant's up 10-6. And another turnover by the Spark Plugs.
Covenant averaging 49 points per game on the season, giving up 36. Speedway also averaging 49 a game, giving up 52. But again, some of that is who you've played. Level of competition might be different.
Covenant moving the ball well. Got to go.
That helps. That helps.
Paige being left-handed helped her there on the left side of the basket.
You know, there's maybe a dozen times in the games where a play is, it's only 2 points or 3, whatever happens here, but is bigger than most, and that was a big basket.
Yeah. Yeah, we needed something positive to go there.
And it's the end of the first quarter play. Covenant Christian 12, Speedway 8. I would think that the story of the first quarter would be the turnovers by the spark plugs. Again, I unofficially have them down for 10. It's a lot.
Yeah.
That's a lot for a game, actually. And as you said, a lot of them were unforced, which coaches hate to see. And we also, I say we hate to see live ball turnovers as well.
Yeah, but the unforced ones are just, you know, we've had 2 or 3 on out of bounds unders. Haley committed one on the very first possession of the game. Just those things that you can live with aggressive turnovers as a coach. And we've turned them over a few times. You know, we've got some steals here. I think the big thing is keeping the Covenant girls in front of us. You know, not letting them beat us off the drive and then swing or get a drop off to Milan or an open jump shot. And then if you get that rebound, they can't press.
Yep.
And that should help us dig in defensively, get some stops here.
On the season, Covenant Christian's only shooting 22% from three-point line, and early in the game there, Lloyd Dawson was getting some inside looks on about 4 of the first 5 possessions. So she's not in the game now, but it'd be interesting to see if they continue to go inside with it.
Yeah, I think, but even her looks were off of drives. I think they're really looking to drive the basketball. Plugs are looking to try to get the ball into Haley, but she's a little high out there. Good catch. Good
Haley did a
finish.
nice job of sealing off the defender.
Yes, she did.
Great job of that.
She really just kept working on that post position, never really gave up. You call that a foul?
Wow.
Foul on Haley.
Speedway foul, number 32, Haley Blanton.
We were fortunate there.
Yes, we were. That's that. We went to a zone, but we weren't very active in it out of bounds under. Macy let it go. Short.
Kind of same thing on that shot. Macy drifting to her left. When she gets squared and momentum is going toward the goals, she's a good shooter.
I agree. I agree completely. That one you could just tell, like I said, she's just kind of going backwards a little bit. I love her confidence. I love the way she shoots the basketball. She puts a lot of work in the offseason. The pass. Turnover for the Plugs.
As I said, the Warriors are a veteran team, 4 senior starters.
Try to make her shot that with some confidence.
Warrior foul, 22, Emma Crane.
Rodmaker on the season, that was her only second 3-point attempt on the season.
She's got a nice shot.
Yes, she does.
Like I said, she shot that one with confidence. Covenant's in a little, looks like a little one
Good
pass.
Good
Good finish. Keep her in front. Good. Steal. Macy with another steal. Good. Yep. Smiley. All tied at 14. Trying to make her miss another one in the corner. Good push ahead. Oh.
I think she kept her feet on the floor. Kind of looked like she was going to jump, but I don't think she did.
Speedway foul, number 23, Macy Delay. Checking in for
I know Brian usually keeps statistics throughout the half, and I've got us down for 12 turnovers. It's going to be interesting to see how we're shooting and how that might have played into the fact, if we had just cut our turnovers in half, how that might have played into the score.
Yeah, we've done a good job of battling through the rough patch early going, so we've been a little better this quarter with our turnovers. Milan inside again. Good.
That's it.
Thought she might have missed that one.
It was a little awkward of the shot.
Yeah.
But she did get turned around enough and squared enough. But Speedway taking the lead back 16-14.
Yeah, good job by the Plugs here. You're talking about Paige Hooper's putback there right before the quarter ended.
Yeah.
Was a huge play.
Just kind of looking at team statistics on the season. Speedway shooting 38% from three, which really is not bad at all.
No.
Both teams aren't very good at the line. 54% for the Plugs, only 49% for the Warriors. What do we have, Shane, for Madeline Metallic? How on the scoring?
She's got one free throw.
She
got fouled early.
Like I said, she's averaging around 18 and a half a game. Every team, I'll say every team, many teams, most will have 2-3 players where they depend on scoring every game. But only being a freshman, that plays into it as well.
Yeah, and she hasn't had a whole lot of looks.
No, she's not.
And she's a girl that can play inside and outside, so. Plugs in the zone here.
Oh.
I was going to say, she shot 3 or 4 from that.
Yep.
Oh, turnover and a 1. Big play by Armstrong there. Didn't get the shooter blocked out, did we?
No. And that almost ended up having a possibility of a 5-point play the way it.
Oh my gosh.
Fortunately, it wasn't.
Gotta get out there.
We better get out there.
Yep. Press comes. Covenant ball still. Need to be more active in our zone here. And good play by Covenant. Milan with a layup. She's in trouble.
Yep.
Ooh.
Yeah, we were very fortunate.
Yes, we were. That was a good job by the Plugs, throwing the ball to half court, beating the press, getting it to Miley, and then she kind of got stuck in the corner, out her dribble. Travel by Addie.
Yep.
Good idea, though.
Yep. You know, we talked about this the other night a little bit, but last couple of years, Coach Smith had a veteran team, a team whose roles were all defined really well before the season started. He would do a lot of substitution early. He would get a lot of players in, even in the first quarter. Still trying to feel his way out with a different look team, running the same system, of course, but defining roles and finding ways that players can help the best.
Vitalik almost got one to go there. She was on the line. Her foot was on the line. Yeah, good call.
Yeah, it was. Good call, Shane.
I'm always good at telling
good
officials
eyesight.
what they're missing.
You know what? We're like 50 yards from the court, so if they need any information, they can just.
I tell them on Friday nights, if you got any questions, just ask me.
Yeah, I mean. Plugs falling on hard times here in the last 3 minutes. 10 unanswered points by the Warriors.
Good drive. Haley. You call that on her?
I thought it was going to be a jump ball.
I did too. Plugs are just having a hard time getting into any rhythm offensively.
You know, I think one of the keys of the game, if I remember correctly, was, I'm not sure we went over those, stopping runs by the opposing, especially when you have a younger team. That's one of the things that always concerns you. And as I said, right now, the Warriors are on a 10-0 run.
Checking in for the Spark Plugs, number 14, Siobhan Champion. And number 23, Macy Delisle.
Good rebound by Siobhan.
Yes. She played in the JV game the other night, Shane. I thought she did a really nice job.
Good job by Macy. Siobhan's a great kid. She was one of our managers for the football team. Absolutely think she's got a bright future. She's a really hard-working kid.
And only a freshman, I believe.
Yeah.
There we go.
Good decision, Macy.
Oh,
a little deeper one.
That was had a little distance on it.
Well, whose ball that is?
I don't. I'm not sure the officials know either.
Yeah, that's a tough one.
Yeah.
They're pointing both ways, so I don't know. Yep, they got it. Ball will go to Covenant.
Checking in for the Warriors, 15, Emmy Flack.
2:23 remaining in the half. Spark Plugs down 24-18. Nice drive.
Yep, good drive. Callie Binkley missed with a shot there. Looked good though.
Yep.
And a put back by Mariah Armstrong again. Siobhan's got to do a little better job on those defending those ball screens. Being a freshman, that's tough getting put in those pick and rolls, but she's got to stop the ball a little better.
These are the games that no matter what happens, you can take game tapes of these and just pick out certain parts. It doesn't do any good to watch an entire game, but you know, you want to improve on 1 or 2, 3 things, and you pick out spots on the tape that are related to those. I don't know how you guys show game tapes, but so many times all players want to do is look at themselves. If you show them the game tape, and you don't want that to happen. You want to pick out situations, and if you show them too much, that's what they end up doing.
Well, now they all have access themselves.
Yeah, they can do that at home.
They can do that at home.
Yeah,
and they do.
Okay, I would too.
Yeah,
I would too.
But they actually do it. You know, the kids are pretty committed about watching film of other teams and trying to help themselves. Such a part of modern day.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I see kids watching film of summer tournaments, volleyball, basketball, football, soccer, which that wasn't the way all the time back in the day.
No.
Good move, Macy.
Keep it alive. You're gonna get her on the
Good
foul.
battle though.
Yeah.
I like seeing Macy just go to the basket sometimes and try to draw a foul, or she's athletic. Sometimes she settles for a jump shot. That was a good drive. I thought she spun, just missed it. Siobhan gets it short end of a stick, but I thought it was a pretty good battle for a rebound there.
But they do struggle from the line.
They have not made one yet.
No, I mean, again, I went at the stats earlier, shooting 49% from the line on the season. Not very good, but a little bit better from the 2-point early in the year. Sometimes their early in the year stats can be skewed.
Well, I think just like we talked about watching film, kids' free throws are definitely not practiced as much anymore, I don't think.
No.
Good
we
drive.
Can have a discussion on that when we get some time, but on free throws, it's one of my favorite topics to discuss. At 25 seconds. That is a block.
Good job of getting to the foul
Yep.
line. She's done that a few times. She hasn't got a call or one to go, but she's freshman. She drives hard. She puts her head down, gets the ball on the rim.
Good player.
Yeah, I'm real excited to see her brother play.
Yeah. And her older brother at Wabash.
Wabash is playing really well. Drew is huge. I mean, he has not stopped growing.
Watching their pregame workout, I was really impressed with their shooting drill that Coach Bennett has them go through. 20 seconds remaining.
Down 9, need to stop here. Keep this in Single digits. Beat on the drive there. Armstrong's having a really good second quarter. Ooh.
And that's the end of the first half with the score. Covenant Christian Warriors 30, Speedway Sparkplugs 19. We'll be back in a little bit with some halftime statistics. Welcome back to Pollard Gymnasium. We're at halftime. The Covenant Christian Warrior ladies lead Speedway 30-19. I'm here with boys coach Charles Ben in a little bit different situation as normal. This is going to be one of those halftime as coaches run off the field type of interviews, but we did want to talk to you. It's the opening game of the season. I guess the first thing I would ask you is tell us a little bit about what's your team and some things that you expect them tonight, even though really it's the unknown.
First, well, I think just in general we're very excited. I mean, who doesn't get excited on the first night? But our kids have done a great job so far. We've had 12 practices. It's been spirited. They seem to really enjoy each other's company, competitive. But you're going to see a team tonight that we're going to play extremely hard. Our kids generally always do that, but this group seems to play really hard. I think at this point in the year, this group also probably understands their roles as well as any team I've coached, just because we know it's going to start with Drew Metallic, 6'6". You know, he's our returning leading scorer, leading rebounder, leading assist, averaged almost 2 blocks a game last year. So he's come back, and we know that he's our player. And so the other night in the scrimmage, for example, he was 11-17 from the field, grabbed 12 rebounds, had 6 assists and 2 blocks. So we did very well there. And but he's come back. I think he's in, not that he was ever in bad condition, but he's gotten a little stronger. And so we've got that. And then we got 2 seniors. One's Matt Craig, number 52, up from the JV. Tremendous athlete, left-handed. I think you're going to see him. I mean, he could be one of our best rebounders of all time. I easily see him getting 8 to 10 rebounds a game, and on the offensive glass, no one can seem to really box him out. And then the other seniors, Camden Bennett, number 25, one of the guys that started for us last year. You know, we lost 4 seniors, which was tough, but look for him to kind of step up his scoring role this year. He did take 18 charges last year, so we'll see where he goes with that. And, of course, the new flopping rule that they're supposed to start calling. So not that any of his were flops last year by any stretch, but I'd look for him to he's done a lot of work on his shooting over the summer. And then our other 2 guards, they're going to start tonight. Kendrick Kaiser Jr. Played a little bit for us at the end of the year, but was in a nice limited role. But this year he's going to try to play our point for us a little bit. And then A.J. Lund, who's also a junior. A.J. can really shoot it. I think he made 6 threes in the summer game this year. So we'll see how the season goes on when people start scouting. And then our 6th man is going to be Vincent Jean coming off the bench. Vincent does a great job in football, great athlete, and he can guard the ball he's probably our best on-ball defender. So we'll see how that goes. But we're not deep. That's the 6 guys that we got, mainly varsity players. Now we'll have some younger kids. Kyle Murley, sophomore. He's probably going to get some playing time. Look for Logan Moore maybe to get some playing time. Colton Thompson can maybe get some, but it'd be spot minutes. But we're going to roll with those 6. So hopefully we're in good enough shape.
I know the system will be the same because that's what you do, and which means we'll probably see a lot of man-to-man, and especially early in the season, I would guess. Any ideas on what? And I know Kevin has got some players back. I think they've got one player that's hurt. Based on last year's game, anything that and Coach Flatt's been there 20 years, and what, you're
right.
22 for you?
Yeah, 22.
So you kind of know each other pretty well, but something that we, even though they haven't played a game yet, that we might be able to expect from the Warriors.
They were senior dominated last year, so they lost 6 seniors, but I do know they have Bryce Harris back, number 2, really good athlete. And when we check back, Seth Fosnot also played for them last year, but I think he's got some new pieces too. But Covenant always looks to play, generally speaking, switching man-to-man defense. They'll probably look for them to pressure us a little bit, try to speed us up. But I think not that we're tall by any stretch of the imagination, but we'll probably do some things. We'll try to get Drew down in the post because their tallest player is 6'2", I think. So we'll see where that goes. And but I look for it to be a spirited game. Obviously, we're close by. This is the last year they're in our conference, so open up with a conference game, which is always good. So just looking forward to it. Like you said, Coach Flatt's been around a long time. He's had a lot of really good teams over there. We've had a lot of really good battles, even when they used to send us out to South Putnam in the 2A sectional. So, yeah, it's going to be fun. I'm looking forward to it.
Well, it's always, I said, it's always fun looking forward to the first game, and I know the players do. I saw your team before the girls' game in their shooting drills. I'm just telling you, really impressed with the intensity, what they were trying to accomplish in their shooting drills. I like that. I mean, it's just something that having coached, I see a lot of teams will come out and kind of lollygag around and shoot shots all over the place, but your guys were not, and that's a credit to the preparation, and I could see that, what you were talking about earlier. I could kind of see that all your teams play hard, but I just saw a little bit extra twinkle in their eyes.
Well, and as I said before, obviously our 2 seniors, Camden's probably a little bit more vocal than Matt Craig, but then Drew Metallic's also really stepped up leadership role. But we always say we want to keep good people, then good students, and then good basketball players, and we have tremendous kids. We'll talk about this as the season goes on, but coaching 3rd and 4th grade basketball, we're going to do a unified skills clinic before our unified game. All of those guys will be in our Reading Buddy program, where they'll go to elementary schools in January. So, yes, tremendous people. I mean, we don't have to worry about them being on time. We don't have to worry about any of the little stuff. They really bought into taking care of business off the court, so they can take care of business on the court.
Well, good. We'll move on here because the girls' second half is getting ready to start. But best of luck tonight, rest of the season, and we'll, as usual, see you up here after the game.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thank you. We'll be back here in a little bit with the halftime stats of the girls' game. Welcome back to Pollard Gymnasium. Once again, halftime score, Covenant Christian 30, Speedway 19. We have some halftime stats. We'll start with Covenant Christian, 14 for 28 from the field. Pretty good, 50%. 0 for 5 from the line. 10 turnovers and 11 rebounds, 2 offensive rebounds. Sparkplugs, 8 for 26, 2 for 5 from the line, 19 rebounds, 17 turnovers. Shane, you're in the locker room at halftime with the girls, and you're thinking about the first half. What's your message to them coming out here in the second half?
I think Coach Smith was right earlier. They just weren't ready to play. A lot of those turnovers were in the first quarter. And that happens on a day you don't have school and things are a little messed up on a break. So I think right now just being positive, trying to reinforce those habits that got you the win last week, and trying to say, hey, let's start this game fresh. Let's start much better than we did in the first half, and try to get some stops. They need to try to stop Mariah Armstrong. She's got 14 of the 30 for Covenant. Really had a good second quarter there. So I think keeping the ball in front of them, handling the pressure a little better, and those types of things will really help them in the second half.
Armstrong is the leading scorer on the season. She's averaging 10.6 points a game, also 5.4 rebounds, so obviously she is one of the go-to players for the Warriors.
Good to see a nice set here. Plugs are in a little 5 open here. Miley for 3.
That helps.
Yes, that's what she does well.
Glad to see her back healthy. But I think you hit it early in the game too, where we got to take away their drives to the basket.
Much better job that time. Oh, Haley with a drive. See if she can make her free throws. Be a talking point at Thanksgiving this year.
Well, I was going to say
she's not a very good free
throw. So she's an unclamp-it-like free throw shooter. Is that what you're trying to tell me?
Well,
she shoots fast. I noticed this the other night. She just kind of flips it up there. It's all right when they go in.
It drives my dad and her grandpa crazy that she doesn't make free throws. But she's getting better every day. I tell you, she shoots a lot. She's getting better.
Mm-hmm. There we go.
Makes the second one. Plugs in a little half-court trap here.
Got to get back.
I thought she traveled there, but
good pass. Not sure how that went in, but it did.
Another one by Armstrong there.
Again, Armstrong only a sophomore.
I got her. Good, Haley. Good job by the offense, swinging the ball around. Armstrong gets fouled. She's going to shoot 2. Good job by Armstrong. She missed the first one, stepped off the free throw line, kind of regathered herself. Good idea by Macy, just a little too strong.
It was good that she had her head up looking down the floor.
And I think Haley was open, just a little bit too strong on the pass. Flat with the miss. Miley to Macy. Good skip.
Checking in for Speedway, number 3, Addie Haberman-Smith.
Coach Bennett was talking about his team not being as deep this year as it has been, and I probably, at least this early in the season, the girls probably in the same situation.
Yeah, Coach Smith did a good job. He played 10 girls in the
Yeah,
first half, I believe.
he did.
10 or 11. So now he'll settle in a little bit. Good job by Cal. Beat the press, had the right idea. Good finish. Another steal. Good rebound by Reichart. Puts 2 more in.
Point lead for Covenant Christian. That's their largest of the game. That one didn't have a whole lot of chance of getting completed, I don't think.
No.
There we go.
Good steal. Need to get a basket here.
Yep. Yep.
Good dive. Plugs down 12. A little under 4 left in the third quarter. Armstrong's going to shoot 2 more.
Speedway foul, number 13, Alyssa Jackson-Dietzer. On the line for the Warriors, Mariah Armstrong.
Speedway at the beginning of the quarter cut the lead to 7, and now it's back up to 13.
Ball.
Neither team really has gotten into a groove, so to speak, offensively. Turnovers have interrupted good play, good solid play from time to time.
Rodemaker again with the 3. And Reichert's giving us all kinds of trouble in that press.
Yeah. Once again, before tonight, Rodemaker was 0 for 1 from 3-pointers on the season.
She's hit 3 tonight.
Yeah, which again, early in the season stats, although this is their
has she played 7 games? Has she played all the games?
Yeah, she's played 7 games. Now, sometimes we don't know for sure. I mean, she has 7 games on statistics. Yeah. We don't know how much, sometimes injuries, or we don't know that.
No, but that was the old America's play on the out-of-bounds under, where she went back to the corner and usually put your best shooter there.
Yeah.
Good catch, Haley. Good drive. Metallic for 3.
Inside out. Like to see Tally get going.
Yeah. Really just like the effort there.
No, push it. Oh.
Give it back to her. Oh. Another battle by Callie Jackson Dietzer.
We interviewed her the other night after the game, and I asked her if she'd ever heard of Gary Payton. Obviously, she said no. She's not our age. I said his nickname was the Glove, because defensively he was just all over people. I said, I'm going to name her the Glove. She does. She plays hard.
She just plays really hard. It doesn't matter if she makes a mistake.
Yeah.
That's what really easy to root for.
Yeah.
Covenant moving the ball around here.
She may have traveled, but it's okay.
Oh.
$41-28, minute 14 to go till the end of the third quarter. Sparkplug's got a couple of substitutions coming in.
Plugs need a bucket here. Try to get this thing under single digits for the fourth quarter. Macy Cutton.
On the quarter, Speedway has been outscored 11-9, so it's not, from that standpoint, not bad. But when you're down 9 or 10, you can't be outscored at all, obviously.
Oh, good look by Madeline.
That was.
There.
It was. Good ball movement by the Warriors. Very good.
I'd like to see us a little more pressure, but I don't want to get beat either.
Yeah. Well, that's one of those situations where early in the game when the score's tighter, you can do that. More passing. When you're down 10, change a little bit. Timeout there, I believe, by Covenant Christian. Full timeout with 26 seconds to go in this quarter.
He realizes how important the end of this quarter is for them. They can get a basket here. It'll be really difficult for the Plugs.
Always one of my pet peeves is, you get under 20 seconds. Depends on the flow of the game. I do understand that, but getting that last shot and not giving up a basket under 5 seconds to the other team, especially when you have control of the ball, I think that's very important.
Yeah, I think you're exactly right.
I mean, right now, they could get a good shot here, possibly go up 16, 15. They turn it over, they take a quick shot, could be down to 9 or 10.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a big play in a game where
Yeah.
you're looking at a 13-point lead going in the fourth quarter. Both teams, like you said, haven't had a great flow offensively. If you can get a good look here and get up 15.
You know, there was a play last year, Shane, I saw. I'll say this when the quarter comes up here. I thought it was a really intelligent play that involved the end of a half situation.
On the side here, huh? I thought she was below the baseline.
I did too. We brought that up the other night. Not always sure where the ball's going to be taken out at.
No, but as a coach, that's quite frustrating when you take a timeout and you're drawing a play up. You got a whole set for an out of bounds under, and then they move you to the wing, and that could have been coach's fault, poor communication between the official and the coach. But you don't really care. You just want to make sure you're putting your kids in a good position.
That's why you called the timeout.
Yeah. 8 seconds left here.
They
Not
got
much time here.
Something set up, but tried to clear out. And they're not going to get it off.
Yep. Got going a little late there in the shot clock.
Yeah.
soon high school basketball.
It will be. All right, and then into the third quarter, Covenant Christian leads 41-28. Shane, the play I was talking about was last year. It was a Purdue game. I think it might have even been 2 years ago. But it got to the end. It might have even been the end of the game, but I think it was the end of the half. And the opposing team made a basket, so the clock was running. And one of the freshmen for Purdue grabbed the ball out of the basket and was taken out of bounds. And Ethan Morton was there. And Ethan Morton struggled a little bit, didn't play a lot last year, but turned around to the player and told him, you got 5 seconds, hold it, because that extra time he took to get the ball in bounds got it underneath the shot clock time so they could go for the last shot. And those are plays that are, I don't know, I've never seen anybody make that play before. But had he thrown the ball in real quickly.
Been 42 seconds.
Yeah, and he didn't even have to pick it up. It's just,
hey,
let it bounce for a minute, or not for a minute, but let it bounce around a couple times. And I don't even remember if they made the shot at the end, but those are the little things that good player. I got a book at home. It's called Things That Good Players Know. And it's like 200 little hints. Any younger player growing up should read this book. From things such as, a lot of times you'll get near a sideline and you don't think you're out of bounds, but you are. Make an extra effort to try to stay 10 inches away from no matter what. Just little things like that. It's a really good book with a lot of great ideas in it that any coach or any player could get. I'm not getting any credit for the book.
Yeah.
But it's a really good book.
Yeah. Those are steal by Armstrong.
Good player.
Yeah, she is.
Anticipated well on that. Got a good career ahead of her.
But you're right. There's so many little things and nuances that go into winning games that people don't always see or talk about, or but gosh, they matter. I mean, they completely matter.
Another one in the book was called Alternating Currents, when you've got the ball and your team has the ball and just moving the ball with a current, but not continuously. Sometimes it's got to stick a little bit and then pick the speed back up, and it's a great book. Covenant starting to pull away a little bit here. Their biggest lead of the game at 43-28.
Checking in for Speedway, number 31, Miley Walton.
Again, Covenant 5-2 on the season, trying to break a 2-game losing streak. They are off now until December the 7th, when they will be at Guerin Catholic for an afternoon game.
Armstrong with the miss. Walton misses. Good box out by Covenant. Good battle.
Good hustle, good hustle.
Yes, it was. Armstrong almost with another steal there.
Covenant foul, number 25, Mariah Armstrong.
Jump ball going towards Covenant's direction.
Checking in for the Warriors, number 13, Jenna Rothbacher. And number 11, Abby Jankowski.
Spark Plug still in their man-to-man, which at this point in the game you would have to be. Good steal. And
And
one.
one. Good move.
She hesitated just for a second driving in rather than flying in there, and she kind of threw the defender off balance, I think. Still only a 13-point game.
Makes the free throw.
Yeah. Need some stops.
Yes, we do.
That won't be on that one.
Good left hand, too.
Yes.
Did a good job of keeping it away from Avery Reichardt, but got to stop the ball still.
Yeah. Oh. That's range.
Yes, it
Shane.
is.
That's
But she had her feet underneath her that
yes,
time.
yeah, she did. Leads cut to 11. It's like the Warriors are not holding it, but a little bit more selective right here. A little bit of 5 out, pass and cut through. Helps.
Yep, turnover.
Yep. And I believe, is that their 5th foul? That 4 got up on the board really fast. So
Yeah.
on the next foul, Speedway will be shooting.
Big possession here for the Spark Plugs.
Get this thing single digits, never know.
Oh.
That looked good. And we
Yes,
were
it did.
right in the direct path of that shot.
I thought she hit it.
I did too.
Gets the foul. Good drive by Metallic there.
Hit. Speedway has outscored Covenant in this quarter 7-2. Plugs really haven't had that big run in this game yet. Be a nice time to get one started here.
Got to stop her.
I think we get one here, Shane. We have a game.
I think so
get
too.
One.
Covenant's got out of their aggressiveness a little bit, which has helped us. Couldn't quite get anything going to the basket.
No.
Checking in for Covenant Christian, number 15, Emmy Flat.
Got her on the reach in there.
I was just going to mention Speedway's only committed. This is their second foul of this quarter, so can play a little bit more aggressively here and go for steals. Got a couple more fouls we can waste. May get lucky and commit a foul's not called and get a steal out of it. Good help.
Another foul on Metallic.
Third team foul for the Spark Plugs. As I said, Speedway's already in the 1-and-1 for the quarter. It's a rule that changed last year. I'm sure everybody's familiar with that. The fifth foul in each quarter now results in 1-and-1. Going to have to take a few gambles here, Shane. We're under 3, down by 9. We can't let them run off 40, 45 seconds here. And again, we got another foul to waste.
No, and they're being awful patient, aren't
Yeah,
they?
yeah. Got to take some chances. 2.5 to go. I don't know how many fouls that is on Kelsey, but that was a good foul.
Yeah. And like we talked about, it's not like Covenant shoots free throws well.
No, not at all.
You're going to have to start playing the free throw game or probably next.
I would say almost now,
yeah.
Especially since they're not shooting very well.
Timeout. Warriors, this is a full timeout.
Now, we've talked about free throws before, but you know, it doesn't matter what sort of method a player has. If they go in, I don't care if they shoot it over their head. It makes no difference. But if they don't go in, then you got to develop something. And I think you become better free throw shooters in the summer. I just and there's no substitute for just shooting. And I know you put game situations, and that affects But just as a general free throw shooting ability, you can get a lot better in the summer.
Yeah, I think you have to. I'm not sure as a coach, and I know you coach basketball for a long time, that you can simulate those pressure situations real well in practice, and they take time out of practice.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's definitely something you've got to just shoot in the summer.
It's a volume. It's getting used to what you're doing, and as I said, there's a lot of different ways to shoot. Way too young for you to even remember. Rick Barry shot underhanded in the NBA and shot like 95%. Hal Greer was way before your time, shot a jump shot at the free throw. Henry Bibby wasn't even squared up to the basket. I think if you want to be a good free throw shooter, you work in the summer, you can be. That's just my opinion.
Yeah, I think you're right.
And there's always going to be game situations. I understand that. Pressure situations. And
Covenant with the miss.
All right.
Haley with
helps.
the rebound. Good. Just about to say Covenant was doing a really good job. It's going to put us on the free throw line.
Now you said the free throw game. I tell you, I think I'd be playing that right now. I don't know what kind of substitution. I know, again, it's early in the year, but get in there. Offense, defense, and so we don't have our offensive players committing a bunch of fouls here, but leads down to 8 with 1:55 to go.
I think exactly what Coach Smith's doing, putting Haberman Smith in
Yeah.
here.
Checking in for Speedway, number 3, Addie Haberman Smith.
Plugs in a little 2-1-2, three-quarter court press here. Try to push him up the sideline and then trap.
Right there. That's all right. Again, I don't know how many fouls that is on. I got that was on Calissa.
Yeah. No, I think you've got to be aggressive, and
That's her 4th foul. Box out. Yep, I better check in. You missed that, Shane. That was a Haley. You gotta go to the bench. All right, see what happens here. First, get the rebound, if there is one. Short.
yep.
I'm taking it right to the basket.
think
I'm
so,
getting
too.
fouled. Oh, yes.
Haley with the layup.
There you go.
Good.
Down 5.
Wow, that is great job by the Plugs getting back in the game here.
12-2, advantage 4th quarter to Speedway.
Yeah, it was starting to feel like we couldn't get back in the ball game. And Plugs battled back now, and like I said, the way they haven't shot free throws well.
No.
This could be anybody's game going this last minute.
Even if you hit one, it's still. You mentioned Thanksgiving games and vacation. It's always kind of cool. You look around and see some kids from college that are here, came back. These are some of my favorite. First game at home for the boys. Some of my favorite games.
Yeah, this is always a great night. First boys basketball game right before Thanksgiving.
Right there. All right, that's her fifth
That's
foul,
all right.
though.
Oh, it is her fifth foul.
Yeah.
isn't it?
That's a kind of a fine line, too. You don't. Your value to the team, obviously, is important. We got a minute 18 to go in the game, and we'll see if that changes anything.
No, Macy and Myler are going to have to handle the ball a little more. And Metallic can do that too.
Get the rebound. You did the work. You want to get paid now. So don't. Oh, they're putting everybody off the line. But I get the shooter.
Oh, don't
push it. I would take it right to the basket.
Tried to get it inside.
Yeah. All right. Get right back at it. We're under a minute. 5-point lead. I don't think they're going to shoot.
I don't think so either. You got to foul her.
Yeah. Go, go, go. Get that one. They will. Good basket.
Yep. Covenant looks like they're going to see this one through.
Yep, 20 seconds remaining. Speedway made a run at it. Got within 5.
Couldn't get a foul there in that last possession, and we were scrambling. I think we were trying to foul. We tipped it away a few times, and they didn't call it, and Covenant ends up with a layup, another layup by Mariah Armstrong. Reichert with the first free throw. She's a good little point guard. She does a good job handling the ball.
This will, unless something strange happens, run Covenant's record to 6-2. Nice ball club. They are going to have to get better to free throws.
She shoots them well.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Charge. Left her feet there.
And looks like they're going to dribble this one out.
That's it.
Yep. And that's the final. Covenant Christian 49, Speedway 40. We'll be back in just a second with a few comments about tonight's game. Once again, welcome back to Pollard Gymnasium, where the Covenant Christian Lady Warriors have defeated Speedway 49-40. Real quickly before we get to individual scoring, some team stats for the game. Sparkplugs were 14 for 40 from the field, 8 for 12 from the line, 28 turnovers, which is probably the number one story of the game, 32 rebounds. Covenant Christian, 21 for 46 from the field, 4 for 15 from the line. Almost was the doing in for them, but not quite. 16 turnovers, 17 rebounds. Shane, what do we have on some individual scoring?
The Plugs were led by Haley Clampett with 13. Macy Delisle had 11. Metallic was well under our average with 7. Paige Hooper with 2, and Miley Walton in her first game back with 7. The Lady Warriors were led by Mariah Armstrong with 24. Rademacher hit 3 threes and finished with 9. Milan got him going early with 6. Reichert with 6. And Flat with 2 and Crane with 2.
All right, well, the Sparkplugs fall to 1 and 3. Again, Covenant Christian goes to 6 and 2. Covenant Christian next will be at Guerin Catholic on December the 7th. Speedway will be again at home, have not had a road game yet. I believe that's December 3rd against North Montgomery. Sparkplugs open up actually with a homestand, as 7 or 8 of the first 9 games are at home. So a lot of road games in the second half of the season. Hopefully you can make some hay here as we get going through the season. So once again, 49-40. We'll be back in just a little bit with the play-by-play for the Speedway boys and Covenant Christian boys basketball game.
Hi Speedway, I'm Tammy Smith, Parks Director for the town of Speedway. I'm out here on this really cold evening on Main Street to invite you all to come out to light the night on Main. It is scheduled for Wednesday, December 4th from 5:30 to 7:30. Don't miss out on lining the streets outside of Delara before 5:30 to see the arrival of Santa. He will be getting a police escort, so you don't want to miss this year's arrival of Santa Claus.
Merry Christmas!
He will be arriving at 5:30.
Are you guys on? We are! Christmas!
We will have lots of activities going on inside and outside the Delara building. Outside, you will be able to greet Santa Claus. We will have our wonderful faux snowball pit. That's become a big hit and one of the best fun things in the event, so don't miss out on that. If you're a parent, please stand outside that snowball pit and help us keep those snowballs inside because they go flying. The kids have fun with that. Coming back again this year is Speedway Junior High and High School choirs. They will be performing outside of the Delara building. Junior High choir will be performing from 6 to 6:20, and the high school choir will follow from 6:30 to 6:50. So come out and show your support for these kids as they show us their talents. In addition, this year we will be bringing back the trackless train. For a $5 fee, you can get a Polar Express experience, a train ride along with hot chocolate, compliments of the Spark coffee. Some of the fun things inside, different groups will be offering wonderful activities. They come up with some wonderful ideas. This year we will also have a pop-up shop inside Delara, so come and support our local artists and crafters and get you some holiday gifts for family and friends. We want to thank our sponsors, Speedway Lions Club and the Spark Coffee. Speedway Lions Club will be providing refreshments. The Spark Coffee will have their trailer outside of our event this year, so you'll be able to warm up with some of their great refreshments, as well as they are providing the hot chocolate for our Polar Express experience with the trackless train. So make sure you come out to Main Street outside the Delara building on Wednesday, December 4th, 5:30 to 7:30. Help us bring in 2024's holiday season. We look forward to seeing you.
Welcome back to Pollard Gymnasium, fans, as we are in the second game of a doubleheader tonight, where the Speedway boys will take on the Covenant Christian boys. In the opening, I was looking here a minute ago, wanted to get their records, but there are no records, Shane. Both teams come in with a 0-0 record. Let me go over the lineups at the beginning here. We'll get those out of the way, and then we'll talk a little bit about opening games. Let's start with the Covenant Christian Warriors under the direction of Scott Flatt in his 20th season for the Warriors. Perimeter players, number 1, Parker Williams, a 5'9" junior. Number 2, Bryce Harris, a 6'1" senior. Kason Suits, a number 13, a 5'11" junior. Inside players, actually more of a perimeter players, Mark Crane, number 22, a 6'1" senior. And Isaac Crane, they are cousins, number 23, a 6'1" junior. So the Warriors are starting 3 juniors and 2 seniors in their lineup. For Sparkplugs opening game, 3 perimeter players, Drew Metallic, returning, number 3, 6'6", a junior. A.J. Lund, number 31, a 5'11" junior. Camden Bennett, number 25, a 6'3" senior. Matt Craig, number 52, a 6'2" senior. And Kendrick Kaiser, number 30, a 5'11" junior. So also the Speedway Sparkplug starting 3 juniors and 2 seniors in the lineup tonight. Shane, I know it's opening game that we talked about with the girls, and you're here around a little bit more than I am. You're in the building a lot, obviously a lot more than I am, since I'm not here at all. Tell us a little bit about what you hear in the hallways and the excitement that you hear some of the players talk about going into this season.
Well, I think we're all excited to see Drew Metallic, honestly. His brother was a really good player. He had a good sophomore year last year. I have him again in class this year. He got lucky enough to have me 2 years in a row.
I'll tell you what,
in AP
win the
US
lottery.
History and AP Psych, and he keeps growing. And I'm looking forward to watching him play. I know how hard he works. We talk a lot in class and see him in the summer, and I see the amount of time he puts in the gym. So I'm really excited to see him play tonight. And I think they're just excited. I know Camden and Matt, Craig, and Metallic, and Lund and Kaiser, they put a lot of work in this offseason. See Vincent Jean out there play a little bit too. I know they're a little thin, and I know Coach Bennett talked about that. They're not as deep as they have been. But I'm looking forward to watching them play, and I know they're excited to get the season started.
First games, you never know. I think I've asked you this every year, but do you remember your first game as a varsity player?
Yep, we played here against Zionsville my sophomore year, and they had Brad Stevens on the team, if you remember that.
Yes, I do. I think he shot every time he got it.
He shot a lot.
He shot a lot. And
27 against us, 28 against us that game.
He shot a lot.
I do. I remember coming down the stands. I remember the nervousness and the excitement.
Sure.
It was a Wednesday night before Thanksgiving, and your whole family's here, and as a kid that grows up in Speedway, I watched people like Greg Thomas and Chuck Bennett play, and
sure.
I couldn't wait for my night to come out here and play, and I know the kids feel the same way.
We always, my first couple of years we started with Pike, and then we dropped those, fortunately, the Red Devils. And then we picked up Zionsville and played them the Wednesday night here and up there, and played them all the way through the rest of my coaching career. So that was your first game, and remember those games very well.
I do too. It's funny the moments that you remember as a player. Even now you're looking at almost 30 years ago for me. So actually 30 years ago exactly.
Yeah. Well, Sparkplugs should have a little bit of advantage in the height area, which is a little bit unusual for a Speedway team.
Yeah. I think the key tonight will be, been around Coach Flatt for a long time. His kids are going to play super hard.
Yeah, they are.
And I wouldn't be surprised to see him run and jump, try to get the ball out of Metallic's hands, double him a lot, and turn this into a helter-skelter
Sure.
kind of up-pace game. I'd be surprised if I didn't see that, just by, coaching against him and watching his teams play the last 15 years. But that's what I expect, and I expect for us to get some buckets, and it should be an exciting night.
Well, Covenant last year finished 8-16. They lost 11 of the last 14 games. They were lost. So I know that both teams want to get started off on a win. And again, it's the game before Thanksgiving, and it's always a little bit sweeter when you have that vacation win. So
yeah, we'll
see how it goes.
It's always nice to talk winning basketball over some turkey.
Absolutely.
Plugs in man-to-man. Shocked by that. I thought maybe Coach Bennett would switch it up this year.
Yeah, right.
Rebound by Metallic.
Nice
Good
try.
finish by Kaiser.
Yeah, I remember last year, he came in late in the year and had a lot of those types of shots right there.
Yeah, he's a very good athlete.
Yeah.
Should be a lot better this year. Good block by Metallic.
Early in the game, going to be a lot of ups and downs. A lot of running, I think, early. Coaches are letting them go out and run probably more than in most cases.
Yeah, there's a trap on the first swing. Good finish by Metallic.
Strong finish.
Yes. Good defense by him, too. That's a couple good defensive plays by Metallic. Yeah, he's going to be hard to stop once he gets going.
Nice adjustment at the rim.
Crane with two.
As I mentioned, Mark Crane and Isaac Crane cousins for the Warriors. Mark a senior, Isaac a junior.
Good defense.
Yeah. Well, Coach Bennett was talking before about how many charges that Camden had last year, and I thought he said 19. Well, he's off to a good start again.
Yeah, that could have went either way.
Yeah.
That was a good bang play. Here comes Coven. I told you they were going to try to kind of run and jump and trap. Kaiser with a miss. Got to get back here because deep three.
Yeah. think
Would they?
got an illegal screen.
They call that. I didn't
Matt
think
Craig,
he screened him.
believe.
Yeah.
I think he kind of stuck his leg out just
Did he?
a little bit, yeah. I see a lot of that.
If you're
even
going to set
in
a
college,
legal
I see
screen,
it.
set a more illegal one. Be a little more physical.
Yeah,
with it.
absolutely. You're going to get called for a foul.
Yeah.
You might as well foul.
Yeah.
See a lot of that in college.
Good
Good
rebound
board.
by Kaiser.
Hang on. Oh. 3-on-2.
That's a good move by Parker Williams there.
And a steal.
No call. This is what Covenant wants to play.
Yeah, yeah.
Coach Bennett's taking a timeout. I think kind of settle us down a little bit.
Yeah, I do like the idea of the pressing, kind of the run and jump. I mean, Drew's not your prototypical point guard, so to speak. And if they can get the ball out of his hands, that's obviously going to be to the benefit of the Warriors.
The thing is, though, if you can get it to him on a 3-on-2 or a 4-on-3, he's going to be a hard matchup as he's coming down. He's so big and can do a lot of different things. He can stop and shoot. He can get all the way to the rim. He can shoot a mid-range game. So the Plugs, I think, just need to just continue to value the ball, stay secure with it. And looks like we already have 5 fouls on us. Is that correct?
I see the scoreboard, and that's what the scoreboard says. I don't know. We haven't even played 4 minutes.
Yeah. Covenant with the ball here.
Wow, a
Oh,
little miscommunication
yes, it
there.
was. So even here, they're going to run a guy at him.
And you can see they're also trying to make him go left, which he is pretty good at doing, actually.
Good move by Bryce Harris again.
Eight unanswered by the Warriors.
Checking in for Speedway, number 22, Vincent Jean.
Vincent Jean, a 5'10 junior, number 22 in for the Plugs. I think replacing Matt Craig.
I don't think we're going to see much more than a 6-man rotation out of Coach Bennett.
Nope. Good. I think there's a couple of fouls there.
I was going to say.
Yeah, they're being very physical with Drew Metallic. But, you know, if the officials won't call it, then there's no reason for them to stop.
No. I think Drew is going to see a lot of that this year.
Yeah.
Double teams, face guarding.
Yeah. Good move.
And a run out. Oh, good block.
That was a great block.
That was. That's one of those where you think he's going to foul him or.
Yeah.
That's a good call. That ball was tipped.
Well, I think the officials, which is fine, have set a standard here early in the game that we're going to kind of let things play out, which I would prefer as long as doesn't get too much out of hand.
Yeah, as long as it's consistent.
Yeah.
I don't think any coach cares how it's called.
No.
3 by Case and Scott Suits.
And Shane, you were correct before. I don't believe we had 5 fouls. It looks like we have 3 in the quarter.
Yeah.
And 1.
Yep. Covenant's bench is excited. We gotta manage this a little bit.
Yep.
Good job by the plugs coming together.
Well, it's a 13 unanswered from the 6:19 mark of the quarter. And most of the points have come fast break, turnovers, quickness.
Yeah, they're gonna keep coming in waves.
Good.
Good, Dixon. Good pass. That was and layup.
That's
Good.
it. Yep.
Couple turnovers by them, and
Tallest starters for the Warriors, 6'1", so.
Talik with a good look there. Good set by the plugs.
Good steal.
Another steal. Good rebound. Good finish. Suits looks like he's got the green light to shoot at 13 for the Warriors.
Right. That's it.
AJ can definitely shoot it for us. He's played JV last year and shot a lot of threes and did a good job.
.23 seconds to go in the quarter. 16-13 Covenant Christian. Number 14, Caleb Jankowski into the game for the Warriors, 5'11" junior. That's it, clear out. .11 seconds.
Yeah.
Checking in for the Warriors, number 11 is Seth Fosnot. And number 12, Judah Jackson.
Seth Fosnot in for the Warriors. Also Judah Jackson. Kurtz Flatt going to the bench a lot here in the first quarter. Foul on the Warriors, but I don't think we're in the bonus yet.
Not
That's
yet.
the fourth team foul.
Number 11 is Seth Fosnot.
Not much there.
No. They may get a chance here. Oh, I think rimmed all the way in and
That
out.
almost went in.
It did. Good first quarter
a great first quarter, actually. A lot of actions. 16-13 Covenant leads. Plugs jumped off to a 6-0 lead.
13-0 run.
Before the Warriors scored 14 in a row.
Yeah, I think we're going to see a lot of the same. I think they're going to keep running guys and switching things and getting in the passing lanes and pressuring. And honestly, playing against Coach Flat, they'll give up a layup or two and to keep playing the way they want to play. So, you know, we're going to get some layups, but we still got to take care of the ball, dig in defensively, and battle through some of that stuff. I mean, I think now we've settled in. We know they're going to run a guy at you. I think everyone kind of understands that, and that's going to take us out of our offense in a lot of ways because they're doing kind of a lot of junk defense. I don't want to say junk defensive stuff, but switching and flying around, which makes it hard to get into an offense. You're just kind of playing, and that's what they want. They want to kind of turn this into a summer game.
And a lot of times early in the season when you have a team like that playing like that, if you can get settled down into your half-court offense, a lot of times there's deficiencies in the half-court offense.
Definitely, and you've seen that. We've had some really good looks.
Yeah.
When we've been able to make 3 or 4 passes without the pressure here. Metallic pull-up jumper.
That was a good shot, though. Going to his right.
3 missed by Covenant.
Got a break here.
Kaiser for 3.
Yep.
Good. Big shot for him.
Yep.
If he can shoot the ball a little more consistently, Shiro will help him a lot.
And this is where obviously Covenant's not as good at yet also as a half-court offense.
Yeah.
You've hit it several times, relying, which are smart, on their pressure, full court, and gambling situations, doubling and whatever.
Here we get a little set out of him here.
Wow. I didn't.
Ball hit every side of the rim.
Yep.
Underneath it, side of it.
And how he even got that close.
That's a good play by Parker Williams. Another good one, actually.
Comes the double.
Gets someone in the middle.
I think somebody's going to be open there. Matt Craig's got to make himself available. I think he actually was the closest.
Yeah, I think that's the hard part is you're open, but you're 35 feet away from him. He can't see you. He's getting pressure. You got to come to the ball and help him a little bit there. But yeah, I think we're okay. I think we're settling in. Looks like we're settling in pretty well now. This is what we want right here. Oh, good defense. Not so much him shooting, but him just attacking.
Right.
Lund with a little pull-up.
Like 23, Isaac Crane really is their only postman in this offense. Rebound.
Second chance.
Yeah.
Leads to bad things. Yeah, they don't really play a post guy. They kind of play him as a mid-post, high-post type of guy. You see a lot more of that now. Kind of a 4 out, 1 in, but he's not really in. He's kind of a mid-post, high-post.
Yeah.
screener kind of.
Release, screen
Yeah.
high.
Kaiser again for three. A little short. Push ahead.
Wow, that's a tough shot. One probably Coach Flatt would rather not have taken.
Yeah, I think he looked at the bench and said, my bad on that one.
Yeah. Good move.
That's a really good move. Missed it, though.
He's had 2 shots going to his right that were both very good shots, mid-rangers that didn't go. Ooh, way to stay down.
Yeah.
That's a tough shot.
I've been impressed with him.
Yeah, that was a tough shot. He was leaning back. 24, must have been 23-18. Covenant.
Geyser with another good drive. He's going to shoot 2 here. That was a 3, wasn't it?
I thought it was. I was almost sure it was. We're going to mark that there.
Is that
because it was 21-18, and I was for certain it was.
I don't see anyone really talking about it.
I know.
Oh, yeah, they changed it. Kaiser misses both of them. He's going to drive.
And suddenly the lead has ballooned up to 8, 26-18. Plugs had tied it up, 18 all. Turn.
Good
That's
move
it.
by Craig.
That's it.
Probably a good timeout by Coach Bennett.
Yeah.
But that's what that pressing does. Gives you spurtability. Didn't we talk about that a little bit last year? I think they just
There's a lot of different ways you can win at basketball. Depends on what your talent is. And yeah, I think every year I see Coach Flatt, I tell him that the COVID year, which would have been, I guess, 20, can't remember if it was
20.
20,
Yeah.
that I saw them play early in the year against Chittard. And that was the best team I think I saw all year up to that point.
They had a really
were
good team.
really good. I mean,
Yes, they were.
I thought they were very capable of making a real deep run in the state.
Yeah, they were really good.
They had some size, shooters.
They could score. They were averaging like 90 points a game that year.
They
could really score the basketball that
And then,
year.
of course, COVID kind of put it into that. There was no tournament that year. But, yeah, that was and I can't remember. I think we did get to play them. But I do think we did play them that year before. Well, we did because
we did.
It wasn't until sectionals at
Yeah.
the regional, actually, in some places at the.
Until things started getting shut down.
Yeah. No.
Oh. I think the plugs were in a zone there.
It did look like it.
Speedway foul, number 22, Vincent Genie. On the line for the Warriors, Bryce Harris.
Got them both.
Plug's still down 8.
Here they come.
Oh, yeah. Ooh. Metallic's had a couple good looks. He'll make those.
Yeah, oh yeah. He's had 3 really good looks. Look out.
Another move.
He's got
Nice
some
move.
nice crafty moves.
Yeah, yeah.
As a way of
turnover by the Plugs there. Getting Kaiser back in the game here. That's a good call. Yeah.
Well, we got 2 minutes to go here before the end of the half. Speedway down by 12.
Yeah, we've got to be careful here. They may push this out to 15, 16.
Yeah, this is, I know there's always times in games that are important, but this is, these 2 minutes here, you can't get too much further behind.
Good rebound by Matt Craig there.
I tell you what, I remember him on the JV last year saying he plays hard.
He's a really good athlete.
Relentless.
I think good pass. He's a very good athlete. It's amazing how good. I mean, he's one of those sneaky athletic kids. You don't expect him to be as athletic as he is. But you're right. He plays hard. He's left-handed. He's athletic.
Wow.
Vincent Jean got backdoored.
That's had it a couple of times.
Yeah. Parker Williams and Bryce Harris are playing really well for the Warriors right now.
Yeah, I mentioned earlier in the game about the officials, and they have done a nice job. They've let them play, but there's been some physicality.
As a coach, did you like it better when they let you play like this?
Oh, yeah. Well, depends on who you're playing. If you're playing Ben Davis with 4 Division I players and Mr. Basketball, I'm not sure you would want that. But
I was there.
Overall, overall, absolutely.
I always liked it as a coach, too. I'd much rather just.
Well, just let kids play.
Yeah. Unless it was Ben Davis.
Yeah. Good.
Good save.
Yes, it was.
Probably one of the.
Yep.
Yeah. Like to see Drew get to the basket on that one.
Yeah.
Oh, got the call there. Harris will shoot 2 more.
Speedway foul, number 25, Camden Bennett. On the line for the Warriors, Bryce Harris. Checking in for the Spark Plugs, 31, AJ Lund.
45 seconds. Plugs are down 14. We seem to really like that side of the court, Shane. A lot of our entries have all began in that corner.
On that side of the floor, yeah.
We very seldom have we started on offense on this side.
Oh, he missed the layup.
Oh, wow.
Got bailed out there.
Yes, we did. Yeah, we did. 24 seconds remaining in the half.
Need a bucket here.
Yep.
Yeah, that's got to be a foul.
And we should be shooting unless that 4 got on the scoreboard really quick.
I think you're right.
There we go. All right, let's hit these.
It's a bad foul.
Yes.
On the line for the Spark Plugs, AJ Lund.
That's it.
Lund being a good shooter knocks him down.
Number 52, Matt Craig.
.13 seconds left. Plugs down 12.
Say it.
A foul by Metallic there.
Speedway foul, number 3, Drew Metallic. On the line for the Warriors.
It's his second, too.
Is that? No, it could have done without that one. Nine seconds left.
Checking in for the Warriors, number 11, Seth Kosnot.
Missed them both.
Rebound. We're shooting, so take it in.
Couldn't get it off.
And that is the end of the first half, with Covenant Christian leading Speedway 36-24. We'll be back in a little bit with some statistics and some comments on the first half.
Sitting here with Coach Smith. Tough loss tonight to the Covenant Christian Warriors. Coach Smith, what do you think went well tonight? I know it's early in the year, and what do your girls need to continue to improve on?
Well, I'll start with a positive. I thought we battled back, and I thought it would have been real easy down 15 for our kids to just kind of give up.
Yeah.
You know, I kind of got on them at halftime. We didn't play well at all in the first half. And I just kind of sat and didn't want to get up and bark instructions because our, kids have to fight through that stuff. And, I told them, I said, we can coach you the spots, but we can't make it for you. We can't, blow the whistle in the game like we can in practice and stop and you made this turnover and this is why you made it. They just had to kind of fight through that stuff. But I was real proud of our effort in the second half. I thought we battled back. I thought there were some situations in the game that we weren't mentally into the game. There were some things in the huddle that were going on that just not anything. They were listening, but it was just situational stuff. Now, with that being said, Addie Haberman has been sick. She was sick and throwing up 2 days ago. She wasn't 100% tonight. Madeline Metallic has been sick, wasn't 100%. There's some things that contributed to our play. Yeah. I don't think Calissa Jackson-Dietzer felt great tonight before the game. I think she started. It's that time of year where we need a mental break and we need to get away so that the germs get away and then we can come back and regroup. So, there were some positives that we'll build on, but we'll definitely watch some film tomorrow and talk them through some things.
Yeah, well, I thought the same thing. I thought the fourth quarter, your girls did a great job of continuing to play and battled and got it into a really good ball game there towards the end. And then you like Miley Walton coming back. I know that's only going to help you.
And that was huge. Well, she got, and the other girls have played 3 games. Even though she's played varsity basketball for many years, the other girls have 3 games under their belt, and she was getting back. Her getting in foul trouble early obviously hurt us. I thought we were pretty good with her on the floor. She just brings another calmness, especially with Calissa. It's another ball handler we have out on the floor. With her, we have a, 7-man, 8-ish man rotation. But having Miley back was great. And she's been really good in practice for us. And she'll compete for us, and we know that she'll do that. And she's not afraid to get her nose and stick her nose in there, and defensively is really good for us. And she had a great summer for us. So that helped us. But, getting Haley being in foul trouble a little bit hurt us. And although I do think that was probably, at least point-wise, was the best game that she's played. We tried to get her isolated in the post some tonight. We thought we had a great mismatch in there. I think Covenant's a good team. I think we're as good as they are. I think they played harder for longer spurts and were more aggressive, and that was the difference in the game.
Yeah, I agree. But you guys are young, getting Miley back. I know I've worked with you before. I know your team's going to get better. Looking forward to that as the season goes along. Who do you guys got next, and what's your plans over Thanksgiving break with the team?
Yep, so tomorrow we'll bring them in. We're going to do some leadership stuff with them tomorrow. We'll watch a little bit of film, but won't really do much on the floor at all. Just, we don't play again till the Tuesday after Thanksgiving. So we'll come in on Saturday. We'll give them Thursday, Friday off. Won't see them at all Thursday, Friday. We'll come in Saturday morning and practice and start prepping for North Montgomery. We play them the Tuesday after. And then Monday we'll practice, and we come back to school, play on Tuesday, and then we play again on Thursday against Crystal House. And then we have the county tournament the following week. So we're seeing positive things in practice. We're starting to turn the corner a little bit. We don't have a ton of kids, but we knew that was going to happen. We've had some classes that just haven't had a lot of kids in them. But like over half of our team have never played high school basketball before. So we knew there was going to be a learning curve, and a lot of those kids have figured out how to play hard and those types of things. So I think we're moving in the right direction, and I think, usually we start clicking about county tourney time. That's about the time we really start playing well. So I think that we'll continue to do that, but like I said, giving kids some time off will be important.
Well, I agree, Coach Smith. I know your teams always get better, and looking forward to you guys hopefully get another sectional championship and growing with this young group.
That'd be nice.
Good luck.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Welcome back to Pollard Gymnasium again, where the Covenant Christian Warriors lead Speedway 36-24. At halftime, some team statistics. Spark plugs from the field, 10 for 22, just a bit under 50%. 2 for 4 from the line, 5 turnovers, 16 rebounds. Covenant Christian, 15 for 32 from the field, also just a tick under 50%. 5 for 7 from the line, 14 turnovers, 9 rebounds. So looking at the numbers, it looks like it should be a fairly even game, especially the fact that we've out-rebounded them and have a few less turnovers. But they've gotten some easy baskets that we have not gotten. Every every score that we've had has been really hard work. They've had a lot of scores on their end that have not been nearly as much work.
They've made some tough shots. Bryce Harris, just like we talked about, has made some, and Parker Williams made a couple tough little shots in the lane. But you're right. I think their aggressiveness, both defensively and offensively, has kind of put us on the back foot a little bit. I think that's the first thing that needs to change for the Plugs in the second half.
Yep.
And we got to get Metallic going. He's got 4, and right now Harris leads the Warriors with 14, and Parker Williams is having a solid game in double figures to start the first half. So you know who they're going to go to. There's that trap again.
Good
Much
pass.
more prepared.
Ooh, good. But that was a good set Plugs had. Yeah, they've done a nice job of being physical with Drew. They've done a nice job of doubling up with him, forcing him to give the basketball up. They've made it tough for him. He's had to work. It looks like we have an early foul, maybe on Craig.
No, they called it on Bryce Harris for holding him off.
Okay. There you go.
Yeah, I was I think referee. I think he got it right. I think he was kind of holding him off, which was kind of hard to see because he didn't come up with the ball. But got to be careful. They're going to switch everything on Drew. You can't just throw it.
Wow, that's a bomb.
Yeah, that's the Suits kid, and he obviously has the green light because he shot a few like that.
Should have an advantage here. Ooh, nice move.
Good move by Kendrick Kaiser. Didn't match up there.
Yeah.
Bryce Harris with the 3. Camden for 3 in the corner, blocked. I think it got tipped.
Tough shot there, went in.
He's played really well.
Yes, that was a tough shot. Going to your left.
He's made a few of those. Like I said, that was a big-time shot there.
Yeah.
Lund coming back with the 3. Big 3 by Lund there. It's kind of early in the offense. He doesn't make that.
Yeah.
They may be off and running again. There it is. Metallic to the rim. Started with good hands by Kaiser with the tip.
Wow. Good play.
Lund again. And another one. His third 3 of the game.
We need some stops.
Push ahead made by Mark Crane. But again, we're playing their game.
Yes, yeah.
Eventually, this is, like I said, I know Coach Bennett doesn't want to go up and down and one pass shot.
Well, and especially Especially the fact, too, that we're not very deep on the bench this early in the year anyway. Yep.
Checking in for the Warriors, number 12, Judah Jackson.
Kaiser makes them both.
Mm-hmm. Not sure who called that timeout. Didn't see it. Plugs pull within 9, 45-36. I don't know. I think if you get a little bit deeper into the season, I know in first game you're not going to do it, but I think a zone could have some effectiveness against Covenant Christian, although they have shot the ball pretty well.
Yeah.
But for opening night, I would never anticipate anything like it. You want to see what you've got off, with your man-to-man, and probably even had that much time to work on other things. 12 practices.
Yeah. I would say that, but nowadays with summer,
true.
High school summer season now, you spend a little more time, and here we are in a zone.
Yeah, good call.
Coach Bros, very good call.
Let's see if it works or see if it's effective. It just, sometimes just switching up, just
slow them down a little bit.
Slow them down and make them do something different, and I don't say create havoc, but
really this is havoc. They're having to pass the ball and moving around a little bit.
That's true.
Isn't what Covenant wants to do.
For Covenant, slowing it down is havoc.
Yeah.
Grab it.
Good block.
Grab it. Another one. AJ.
He has kept us in the game
this
quarter.
Somebody's got to help out here.
Yeah.
All right, let's see what happens here.
Speedway foul, number 52, Matt Craig.
Back in their zone here.
And this is 3-2. Could be a weak rebounding zone as well. Got to make sure we get the wings and Drew to drop down on all shots. We need 5 people to the boards.
Oh, good move. Isaac Crane with another putback.
Yeah, that rebound would be the opposite wing.
Yeah, it's tough to rebound out of that 3-2 zone. Greg with a miss.
Back.
Good pass, layup by Mark Crane. And Covenant's pushed it back out to 12 real quick there.
That's it.
Good move by Metallic.
Good board.
Good follow.
Wow,
Good
we just
pass.
Checking in for Speedway, number 22, Vincent Jean.
Minute 54 remaining till the end of the quarter. Covenant Christian 53, Speedway 43. Plugs back to man-to-man.
Hit the line. I think it's out on the plug. Yeah.
Yep.
Checking in for Covenant Christian, number 23, Isaac Crane.
Seems like we've had a lot of activity on the offensively outside the volleyball lines tonight. Kind of hard to get an offense going. Good tip.
Yeah, we've been kind of forced up the sidelines.
Yeah.
And
They're doing a really good job of overplaying and
Spark plug substitution, number 52, Matt
fanning, I guess would be the correct word, as opposed to funneling on defense.
Yeah.
Funneling is getting it inside, fanning is outside.
Isaac Crane.
Here comes another run and jump.
Yeah.
None
Gotta
with
get
his
back.
first miss.
Yep. Well, that should be
Yep,
white.
good
Yep.
steal. I was going to say, you can't. Oh, I don't know what happened there.
I think somebody from the stands.
It hit the cheerleader.
I don't know.
I
Now, I
was-
had that hit an official, it'd been live ball, but
Yeah.
hitting a cheerleader, I don't think it works that way.
Yeah, I don't know. What? I don't know. Did it
I don't
hit the
either.
official? Had to hit the official or something. I don't know. Gene's going to shoot two here.
The Plugs were down 12 at the quarter. They're down 12 now.
Oh, they had a layup there. Good shot.
There we go. He's had 3 or 4 of those tonight. Going to your right, he's going to hit over half of those normally.
Good move by Suits there.
Yep.
We got to stop the ball. They're not going to play for one shot. They're just
No.
going to keep attacking.
Yeah. And I get that.
Who'd they call that on?
Number 11
Yeah, I
on
think he did.
Fosnut.
Yeah, I think that's the right call. I didn't know if they called it off the ball or something I missed.
Got 7 seconds to make a move here. And might be
Shoot
shooting.
two, yeah. Shoot 1-on-1 here. It's the right idea by Jackson there to keep him out of the middle, but then just reached at the very end.
Yeah.
Drew's got a chance to cut this to 10 before the fourth quarter makes the first one.
Are those his first free throws?
Yes, they are.
Wow. That's it.
Makes them both. And they made that one. He banked it in. Mark Crane with it. I was just about to say, they almost made one early.
I know.
And he let that go. It looked pretty good. Banked it in.
So at the end of the third quarter, not a lot has changed since halftime. It's still 12-point lead for Covenant Christian, 59-47. Really needs some stops defensively. 59 points. Of course, we have nothing to gauge on. Last year, and I don't have it here.
I know Coach Bennett's goal to keep him 58 or
Yeah,
under.
yeah.
I've known that my whole life.
I copied our schedule from last year, but I did not copy Covenant's. But, you know, we're right now, especially we get to the point late in the game where we're some fouling situations, I'm on par to giving up 75, 80 points, which is a lot for anybody. But as you said, we have team goals. And
Yeah, I think the good part about playing a team like Covenant is they're going to let you back in it. They're going to keep going up and down. You're going to get possessions. You're going to have a chance to get some stops, and they're going to take some bad shots. The thing is, can we capitalize and stop them from? A couple times we've cut it to 8, and they spurt back out to 13, 14. You know, this isn't a team that's going to take the ball and pound the air out of it, and you're not going to get it back anymore. So it's a great opportunity for us here in the fourth quarter, make a little run, get Metallic going. But the Crane cousins are playing really well right now.
back-to-back threes.
By him, hit one right before the quarter.
Yeah, Speedway cut it to 6 points in the middle of the third quarter.
Lund again, stays hot. There's a turnover.
Take it in, and
he
one.
Got it.
That's quick. You nailed it. They can get you. They can allow you to get back in the game just as quick. And they just have.
Yeah, they make a 3 before the quarter, come out, make another 3, push it out to 16, and then they let us right back in, and it's down to 10 again. And Metallic's made a couple shots, which is good.
And he's gotten to the line.
Yeah.
I got to get to the boards, guys. We need 5 people. Yeah, this doesn't really remind me, us, of a team that's going to have 1 or 2 dominant rebounder, like a Zach Eady for Purdue last year. They're struggling on the boards too this year. But it's going to have to be a team effort on the boards. Guards, everybody.
Just
been a big one.
Yeah, I think you're correct. And we have the athletes and the size this year to be a very good rebounding team.
Yep.
Our guards are pretty athletic. You know.
Yep.
So I think it's something that I know Coach Bennett preaches. I'm sure they'll get better at. Bennett for 3.
Bingo. Just like that.
Missed it.
Nope. Game on your back. Good, good.
Good. Greg with the layup there.
All right. Back to 5, 63-58.
Checking in for the Warriors, number 2, Bryce Harris.
11 unanswered points for the Spark Plugs. That was
He shot some deep
probably
ones.
an
That was-
ill-advised after a team has scored 11 in a row.
Yeah.
But first games of the season. But as you said several times tonight, they're not going to slow down on that account, and that's why we were able to cut that lead down as much as we have.
Cameron's going to shoot 2 here. Cut it down to 3.
Let's see if see what Covenant does. I mean, it's going to be curious here to see what they do offensively, if they change anything or.
You want to make a
'Cause
bet?
really-
I don't think they will.
I don't think they will, but it's the first time really, and we're 5 minutes and a half to go before the end of the game. And you're probably right. And I'm not saying slowing it down. I'm just saying running something. It's too bad.
No, I don't see. They may run a set here or there, but Flat's going to let them get up and down and keep playing. They're going to keep attacking. Like I said, they're going to keep shooting threes.
All right. Yeah, you're right. You're 100% correct. You were. And that's how they have elected.
I respect it because,
Yeah.
like I said, after coaching against Coach Flat for 15 years, this is what they do.
Yeah.
And they play really hard, and they do a really good job of it.
And this is how they elect to play, and they're going to play that way.
And as a player, it's a fun style.
Yeah.
It's a really fun style. You take a bad shot, you're not getting yanked out of the game.
Yeah.
You're going to keep playing as long as you play hard on the other end. Yeah, I have a lot of respect for Coach Flat. He's a great guy and a very good coach.
Nope. Good board.
I thought that went out of bounds, too.
I did, too.
Plugs didn't get anything out of that possession.
No.
See, he's telling them to push the ball.
Yeah.
He's yelling at him about not pushing it there.
That was a tough shot.
Yes, it was. That's a tough call on Bryce Harris there.
Yeah.
Especially the way the game's been going. I think it's the right call.
I think Camden was.
See, there we talked about that 3 or 4 times. He's done that 3 or 4 times, thrown it, thinking that they weren't going to steal it, but.
Yeah. Leads back to 8, but still it's.
Another run out. They're going to shoot a 3 here. Oh. Yep.
On the line. has somebody open.
Oh, he finally missed one. Another run out.
And just like that, leads back to 10.
That was close, huh?
Yeah.
Checking in for the Warriors, number 12, Gene Jackson. Speedway substitution, number 22, Vincent Gene.
Plugs need a bucket here. I was wondering why they took Harris out. It was his 4th foul. Well, taking him out with 3 minutes left was a little interesting, but I know he subs a lot, but yeah, it's his 4th foul. Makes a lot of sense now.
69-59, 2:44 remaining in the game.
Like I said, even with 2.5 minutes left, there's a chance here. I don't think there's any doubt that you get a stop and a layup or a push out, and you may get another bad shot, or I don't even know a bad shot for them, just a quick shot.
Yeah, quick shot.
Couple quick shots in a row, and you can be right back in this thing.
Yeah, we went from 16 down to 5 down pretty quick. Get back.
Oh, no.
Yeah, we can't.
They're still running and jumping.
Yeah.
And another run out. Oh. Good job, Plugs. It's a jump ball. Oh.
Yeah, I think that's a good one, yeah.
Yeah, that's from up here, it's hard to tell, but he's adamant. They must have had his arm.
Well, yeah, we go.
On the line for the Spark Plugs, Camden Bennett.
Makes them both. 10-point game. Now they are a little bit more.
A little bit.
Yeah. And we get a turnover. All the way to the rim. They got 5 fouls. It's a good thing about the Plugs. You can attack the rim and get fouled right now.
Tough shot.
Yeah.
And on the flip side, Speedway's only got 1 foul, and there again, you can go for some steals.
Yep.
Yeah, that's off his leg.
Yeah, good call.
The officials have, for the most part, there's been some misses, obviously, along the way. But
it's a good crew.
Yeah.
I was talking to them before the game. Good guys, good officials. And that's what you get most nights in Indiana.
Yeah, you do.
90% of the time, you're going to get really good guys, good officials.
And once in a while, even the good players are going to have off games, and sometimes the good officials are going to have some off games. But yeah, you're right. We're very lucky about
These guys,
how our official organizations work here in the state, how they.
And, you know, the good part about this crew is they'll smile and talk to you and laugh with you, and they're having fun.
Yeah.
I spoke to 2 of them before the game because I know them personally and asked them how things were going. And like I said, I can't say enough how hard it would be to be an official first. And second of all, you know, to do that night in, night out, a lot of respect for those guys.
Right, and they're not doing this to buy houses in Florida. They're doing it. They like it. They have a little extra money, yes, but they enjoy it.
Most of them just want to be around the game, just like us old coaches, and why we come and do this. It's just
that's a good point. That's a good point.
It's exactly what it is. Alec makes them both. It's an 8-point game still here, so. Oh, that was.
And again, we've only committed 1 foul, and I know. And I say that because I do think, again, it's something that you probably haven't practiced in 12 practices, but committing hard fouls while you're going for steals, if they don't call it, got to steal. If they call it, it's just another foul.
That's one of those. It's like it's almost like your book you were talking about. That's not even something that you have a whole lot of time to coach at all. You may have a call to foul. You may have a, hey, you know, we're going to go for a steal here. If you foul, you foul. But like you said, being able to understand those situations of foul hard, go through his hands hard, maybe you get a break, maybe you don't get a call.
Yeah, I mean, really there's nothing to lose.
Yeah. You know, and you would think, and we've talked about this before, as much games are being played now at the younger levels that I guess kids would have better game awareness, and I'm not sure if that's the case because it's almost
and that you're
minus by saturation.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Sometimes more is, and I go back to a lot of the summer activity. There's a lot of good things that can go on in the summer, but there's a lot of bad habits that can be gained as well. Wow, that was a nice job of isolating down low, and he missed it. Get a board. Good job, Camden.
Steal. Yeah. Oh, and another. Oh, turnover back.
All right. You know, I think for like the first 3 quarters of the game, the summer game is really good, but there's got to be awareness at the end of the games, time, clock, score, momentum. And sometimes when you're playing 10 games or 8 games in a day, sometimes you can't. Wow.
And, you know, right up Covenant's alley, they have 5 fouls, and they're pressing up 8, under a minute left.
Yeah.
Almost get a steal twice.
Get in there.
Warrior foul, number 2, Bryce Harris. On the line for the Spark Plugs, Drew McCallum.
Yeah, it's his 5th foul. Bryce Harris had a really good game.
Yeah, they're going to be a fun team to watch. I don't know how their talent level compares. I was looking at their schedule. They've got some tough games, but
is there any easy games in Indianapolis?
No, there really aren't.
I mean, anywhere in the city and the surrounding counties, there's not very many bad teams out there.
64, 65, not over.
Nope.
Checking in for the Spark Plugs,
kind of seems like it is, you know, but it's not.
They've had a lead the whole game, and it's been kind of up and down. Yeah, we're definitely in this.
I'd be fouling like right now. Oh, that's all right. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Checking in for Speedway, number 30, Kendrick Kaiser.
Ooh. I thought that may have went out
close.
on Crane. I couldn't tell.
Well, now we do have to foul quickly here.
I know you got a foul here, White.
Yeah. Right there, trap hard. Got to come out. Timeout.
Lost 20 seconds there.
Yeah.
And we still got, no, we have 2 fouls. We have to foul twice here.
Yep.
Plugs battled back. Like I said,
Several times.
6 points here. We couple fouls in 4 or 5 seconds, and see if we can't get down.
Very similar to the girls' game, except for one fact that the foul shooting for the Covenant girls was not very good, and I got a feeling the foul shooting for the Covenant boys probably will be a little bit better.
Yeah, I would guess, but you never know in these situations like we talked about. So.
Speedway foul, 52, Matt Craig.
Missed the layup. That'll do it.
Yep. And that's the final opening game of the season. Covenant Christian 73, Speedway 65. We'll be back in just a little bit with some final comments and a talk with Coach Bennett.
Speedway Athletic Department appreciates everyone spending their time with us. Be safe traveling home this evening and have a safe and happy Thanksgiving.
Welcome back once again to Pollard Gymnasium, where tonight, opening game of the season, Covenant Christian Warriors defeat the Speedway Sparkplug 73-65. Here are some team totals for the game tonight. Sparkplugs from the field were 22 for 56. Not a bad night from the free throw line, 14 for 19. A lot of those were late. 19 turnovers, 26 rebounds, 7 of those were offensive. For Covenant Christian, at almost 50% on a good shooting night, 32 for 65, 5 for 7 from the line. So the Sparkplugs got to the line 12 more times than the Warriors. 11 turnovers and 26 rebounds as well, 6 offensive. So a lot of the stats were close. Shooting obviously was the bigger difference here. Everything else was pretty even. Coach, what do you have on some individual totals for tonight?
The Plugs were led by Metallic. He ended up with 19 with 15 coming those in the third and fourth quarter. A.J. Lund also had 19 with 5 threes. Camden Bennett with 6. Matt Craig with 6. Kendrick Kaiser with 11. And then Vincent Jean with 2. The Covenant Christian Warriors were really balanced. We talked about Bryce Harris in the first half, and he led all scorers with 21 points. Parker Williams had a great first half with 12 points. Suits with 9. Mark Crane with 14, and Isaac Crane with 12. So really balanced scoring from the starters for Covenant Christian.
And I think probably just by watching them one game for Covenant, you're probably going to see that most of the season.
Yeah.
Because it looks like a lot of different guys are putting shots up, and they find different ways to score. Good beginning point. I mean, you got to have somewhere to start the season. Those some things you got to work on. And there again, every game you play, you try to learn something, because the next game that we play perhaps is not going to be like tonight. But yet down the line, you're going to probably play some teams that play the same style as Covenant. What did we do wrong in that game? So you build that up for the end of the year for the sectional. You hope by the time you get to the sectional that you've not seen any style of play during the year that is unique to what you've played. Whether it be playing against big people or a team like Covenant's up and down, whatever. So it's a good starting place. It's better, it's always better to get it off with a win, but still at the same time, a lot of good things.
Yeah.
And coaches, I know, have said they're going to play hard, and I know they will. So that's about it for right now. Coach Bennett will be up here in just a minute, and we'll give him the opportunity to give us his thoughts about tonight's game.
I'm here with Coach Bennett after the first game tonight against the Covenant Christian Warriors. Came up on the short end. Coach Bennett, what's your thoughts, good and bad, on the first night, and how you guys going to improve moving forward?
Tale of two halves. First half, obviously, we're down 12 going in. I think we won the second half, though, 41-37. Defensively, probably gave up too many points. We would like to hold them to 58, gave up 73. I definitely think the game was pretty physical. I think there was a lot that was going on, but you know, to our kids' credit, I think in the second half we got it down cut to 3 maybe.
Yep.
And I think we had 2 possessions where if we could have executed, we could have been okay with that. So you know, we told our kids no moral victories in there, but to get it cut back to 3, playing that style, you know, got some kids that are in some different spots. Like Kendrick Kaiser's never played the point before, had to handle the ball more. They were, again, physical. A.J. Lund caught fire, which was a good thing. He was 0 for 7 in the scrimmage and then missed a few in the first half, but then caught fire. Drew Metallic got it going in the fourth quarter. You know, I mean, you just said, look, we got 21 more times to jump it up. We're guaranteed 21 more games. All the things that we think went wrong, we can fix. Certainly our effort was great. There's no question about that. No question about our fight. And those kids are only going to get better as they play more. So, you know, it'll be important to come back. But with this group, I mentioned this with Coach Probst earlier, this group's been a real joy the first 12 practices, of being on time, doing everything they're supposed to do, going hard at practice. And as you know, sometimes you can have some lulls. Knock on wood, we haven't had any lulls. So, looking forward to giving some time off with their families, though. But then we come back and we play 3 games in a week. So we'll be Tuesday, Friday, Saturday, which is they'll love that. Now, coaches want to practice, but we'll love that. So, yeah. Yeah,
I was just going to ask you, moving forward, I thought you guys battled back a couple times. You cut it to 5 one time, cut it to 3. In the fourth quarter, had a chance there, which was really, really good. And I thought, like you said, Metallic got going a little bit in the second half in the fourth quarter, and you know he's only going to continue to get better. And your kids competed really hard, and especially against a team like Covenant's going to run and jump and speed the game up.
Yep.
Tough opening night. But how are you guys going to handle this vacation, I guess, this holiday, and then especially with, I didn't even realize, with 3 games coming up, you're going to give them Thursday off?
Know, we thought long and hard about it, and I'm like, well, at Christmas, because the way the schedule falls now, we'll play on December 20th and December 27th, so we're going to have to practice on the 23rd, practice on the 26th, so they only get 2 days off. So we're going to do our traditional, we're off until next Monday. Okay. We have an optional open gym on Saturday, which most of our kids will show up, and they can just play, run up and down. So that'll be great, and then just encourage them to run, but or do some conditioning on their own. But, you know, at this point in the year, Thursday's a great holiday to be with your family. Great holiday to think about the family that you may have lost, but then the ones that are here, you know, go eat, go relax, because it's a long season. I mean, we're going to be around till March. So we feel like with this group, we'll see most of them at the optional open gym on Saturday, and then we'll get right back in it and should be okay.
Well, you've been doing this a long time. I'm sure you got a good plan. You know, I know your team's going to get better. Having worked with you all those years, I know how you guys always find your peak around sectional time, and looking forward to watching this team grow this upcoming season. So good luck the rest of the year, and have a great Thanksgiving with your family.
Yes.
Want to make sure we say thank you to the crew here, Bill Stinnett, Fernando Flores, alumni, Bill P., and especially Brian Pierce for all he does with Speedway TV. We need to thank our sponsors, Junco's Hollinger Racing, Speedway's hometown racing team, the Speedway Lions Club, which does a ton for the town, the American Legion Post 500, treasure hunt every Thursday, and that's open to the public, the Speedway Public Library, and the ISC Sports Network, local loves here. So wish everyone out there in Speedway and all around a happy Thanksgiving. Be thankful, enjoy your family, and we'll see you here real soon.